Reading response number 4, Lights, Camera, Captioning by Lauren Chun. A short summary of the readings. Chapters 8 and 9 in Rhetorical Accessibility and the online web article, Which Sounds Are Significant Towards a Rhetoric of Closed Captioning by Sean Zdenek, are all geared towards web accessibility and meeting lawful and ethical requirements on web pages, as well as the exploration of the universality of closed captioning. This response is an analysis of the accessibility of CBS.com and their use of closed captioning and WACs on their homepage. In the article by Sean Zdenek, he states the 21st Century Communications and Video Accessibility Act of 2010 will require captioned television programs to be captioned when delivered over the internet. Essentially, that means that television shows that are broadcast over cable and satellite and then placed on the web pages of their broadcasting stations must have closed captions available for those who desire them. As we can see on the web page of CBS.com, at the bottom of the page, this station has a special link for closed captioning specifically. When you click on this page, it takes you to another subpage that gives contact information for those with questions, concerns, and complaints. But where is the WAC? A WAC, as defined in Rhetorical Accessibility by Antoinette Larkin, is an organization's declarations on a website, usually produced by the web developer, about the accessibility of the website to disabled people and others with accessibility needs. Basically, it is a disclaimer that states what kinds of functions have been incorporated into the website for those with disabilities. When going back to the CBS website, we can see that although it has a page dedicated to closed captions, there is no link to specify a WAC. An example of websites with a WAC can be seen on the web pages for Starbucks and Sodexo. It should be noted that just because a business has a WAC, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is effective. The idea of quality over quantity has brought up by Zdenek in his article, Which Sounds Are Significant Towards a Rhetoric of Closed Captioning. We can see that CBS.com, although an effective and widely used website, is less accessible for those with disabilities than perhaps previously identified. The use of closed captioning, although important, is only a small part of accessibility. There must also be a consideration of color and contrast for those suffering with color blindness, as well as other elements of accessibility and design, such as audio and visual components and relevance, making important items stand out. These elements will allow an ease of access for those with, and indeed without, disabilities. How does this apply? As a technical communicator, it is my job, both as a professional as well as a human being, to make sure that my own practices, as well as those of my employer, allow for the most effective use of WACs and closed captioning. These key elements should be present on a web page in a manner that is easy to identify and access for those with disabilities, remembering to keep in mind the wide range of disabilities that would affect someone's use of the web.